Hey, this is Talking on a Throne, and I am your host, Pepe Le Pieux. Today I'm gonna tell you a fairy tale that happened a couple of weeks ago. It's like I will call this the date of Valentine. In February 8, I felt some pain in my stomach. So I didn't worry much. I thought it was something gas or, didn't worry about it too much. Anyway, it was still persistent, so my pain in the stomach, I said, well, I decided to go to the doctor. And the doctor suggested to me to go to the emergency room. And so that's what I did. I bring my car home, and I have a dear friend, who drive me to the hospital, which is the emergency room, obviously. The doctors wasn't sure if it was the appendix or not. So they did some CT scans, and it was the appendix. They were just surprised that I was not too much in pain at that time, because, I'm an old guy and appendix is not good for people of my age. So they told me, well, we're gonna keep you for the night and we're gonna take out your appendix in the morning, which is also, I came to the hospital on Tuesday, and technically speaking, on Wednesday morning, I'm supposed to have my appendix take out. So I'm waiting actually for the nurse to bring me to the room where I will stay. At that point, they put me in the bed and they just roll me around. So 30 minutes later, a nurse came, and I thought they were gonna bring me to the room. It's aware that with the thing that was plugging me, that something happened during those 30 minutes that I wasn't aware of, and they, instead to go straight to the room to spend the night in the hospital, and by going straight to the operating room to get my appendix removed, because my appendix have burst. Still really no pain, but so I went there, they took it off. I wake up the next morning and they lay me down there. I have problem with my bowel, and they keep me in observation for like a day, and then they bring me to another room and they say, well, everything went fine, but we noticed is that your appendix was very dark and it burst everything, so we did some cleanup from the burst, and for the safe measure, we're gonna biopsy whatever we find in your appendix, just to make sure that everything is okay. So at that point, I was just to get better, and I was supposed to get back home on Thursday or Friday, whatever it is, However, changes plan. On Friday, when I was supposed to get home, they said, well, a doctor came and they said, well, we have to keep you longer because we need to have a second surgery. We discovered that you have cancer. We have no idea if the cancer is from just the appendix cancer or if the cancer is someplace else. So we're gonna open you up, clean you some more, and we're gonna take a piece of your colon and a piece of your lower intestine. So my date on Valentine's date was with the surgeons that opened me up for 5 hours in the operating table to do just that. So on Monday, when I actually kind of realized where I was, I found out that after some biopsy that they were looking for any cancer, but they let me know because the appendix have cancer in it that I will still have to go through chemo because the cancer cells doesn't die by themselves, as I understand. And if my appendix bursts with all those cells went through my body, we need to find a way to get rid of them. By that time, I wasn't sure of what the biopsies they take. And I have other problems because with those two surgeries almost back to back, my digestive system wasn't acting, so they ended up by putting tubes in my nose, in my mouth, to help me eat and evacuate everything. So I was for like 2 days with full of tubes, and it's been like almost like a week who have been only eating bouillon or juices. I couldn't take any hard food or any puree of any kind. During that week, I got worse and worse, and then from some miracle, like around, I will say, Thursday night, I got a little better, so they ended up by taking the tubings out of my nose and my mouth and everything else around. Then it was a little painful, but I was able to breathe on my own and still eat bouillon and juices. Is there when I found out that from the latest biopsies that I think a lymph node, they call this, have a cancer cell in it, and the lymph node was on the colon. And they diagnosed me for now stage 3 cancers of colon cancer. So that is the end of my date. So I got better. They ended up by giving another surgery to put a port on here on my right side. This way I can start the chemotherapy. However, as it stands today, I don't know, and the doctor doesn't know yet because he didn't finish the biopsy, and I still have to do a CT scan of my full body to see if there is more cancers, if there is how spread my cancer is on my body. And so when I'm gonna see the doctors, actually in March 10, we're gonna decide if my body is strong enough to take care of those radiations or more biopsy. So I might go back under the knife. I don't know this yet. Or they might start the treatment of chemo. As I know, as I stand right now, the chemo is a light chemo. It will be 1 week of chemo and 2 weeks of rest. No radiation yet. But then again, we didn't have the full biopsy and we haven't done any scan and test. So it could be worse or it might be better, but I will know only after I did those tests. The reason why I do that on Talking on the Throne is, technically speaking, was it mostly was supposed to be a comedy show, but I have to find a way to blog and vlog, and maybe that helped me to fight the cancer and get myself better. I promise I will do some more funniest, and I will try to keep update. And I thought that maybe I can walk through my journey to cancer for the people who have worse than I, or maybe better than I. As you know, cancer can be very flexible. It looked like I didn't have any symptoms, so it looked like my cancer cell was kind of sort of dormant. I never lost weight or vomited. The only time I have it was that appendix burst. So I don't know, by doing all this, that wake up my cell and it might activate, it might get worse or I might get better. I don't know, that depends the individual. Like I said, I have friends who die in 2 months after they be diagnosed with cancer. Actually, cancer stage 2, and they end up by dying 2 months later. And I have other friends who still alive and go through chemo and pain. And I do have some friends who, for some, were lucky that right now they live with cancer free. They still have to do a CT scan every year or every 2 years just to make sure that the cancer didn't come back. So I don't know yet what my situation will be. I will be probably no more on March 10. But this is the story of my beginning cancers. So in February 8, I was a full and sporty man. Now, after 2 weeks in the hospital, 3 surgery, I feel like I can't even walk to the mailbox without being out of breath and being tired very kind. However, now I'm finally be able to move by myself and even cook by myself. I'm a little, after I've been reading, I'm a little scared of how the chemo or the medicines are gonna give me, how I will react, if I will react okay, or if it's gonna be nausea, vomited. I have no idea. But actually, I have no choice. So I just hope everything will be fine. And then, yes, I understand if you want to know more about my journey through my new wife called cancer, you'll be able to like and subscribe. And of course, if you have extra change, money is always welcome. I will post stuff like corn or wood when they have, if you want to invest money, and if you do end up signing through those links, I will get maybe $5 to go through my investment to help me for my future hospital bill. I do have an insurance. So far, I haven't got the bill yet, and I have no idea how much my insurance will cover, and I have no envy to look for it now. But and I have no idea if I can go to work yet. So this is unfortunately, hopefully I'll be more healthy in a week or so to be stronger to finish those tests and exam and biopsy and actually starting the chemo, because I know I have at least 6 months ahead of chemo before anything will be defined of my health or not. So I'm keeping my thumbs up, and I hope you see you soon in my YouTube channel. Sometime if you want to try to laugh, I'm trying to be more funny in my TikTok account. You can go to my TikTok, is Pepe Le Pieux. Yeah, Pepe Le Pieux here, Pepe Le Pieux there. I got that name because my French accent, but I'm Swiss and neutral and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I will, if you want to follow the journey of my date with cancer, please like and subscribe, and I see you pretty soon. Thank you. Mahalo.
Diddle, 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 diddle.